Welcome back, Gold members, to another episode in our WrestleMania special. Now, it wasn't just THQ and Acclaim making all the great N64 games. EA also joined in with WCW Mayhem.
When EA entered the hot wrestling video game market, many people expected EA's usual stance of slight upgrades for each game and minimal additions. Strangely, when you look at it, EA have 3 wrestling games on the N64 and each of them is completely different, more so than Acclaim or THQ's wrestling games. I give props to EA for this, and WCW Mayhem isn't a bad game at all, however it's not a great game either. The presentation in the game is definitely its strong point. The graphics are actually quite nice in the ring. The 60 or so wrestlers all have their entrances, music, and look quite detailed and animate to a fair level. A big problem in the game, however, is the hit detection, which is very poor to say the least. Sometimes when you attempt the same move, you'll have different reactions for no apparent reason. If you attempt the same move multiple times, then this will most likely result in a counter. The counter system is very poor, and it's down to what your opponent does rather than what you enable it to do. There are some nice touches in the ring, like when you hit a grounded opponent, they'll flinch on the ground, and when you hit big moves in the ring, it will shake and give a nice realistic feel of power. Some of the finishes in the game don't quite look right, but that's more of a minor detail than a game changer. The controls fall somewhere between Acclaim's and THQ's controls. There is a basic grapple system, but you can also perform moves with combo presses. I can see why they would want to take the best from the two beloved series, but the controls here are very difficult to learn, and even some basic things like rear grapples are a lot harder to perform than they should be. The wrestlers do feel quite similar, and the moves some wrestlers have are absolutely bizarre, such as Bret Hart having a headbutt like a big wrestler when he should have a more technical skill set. The audio in the game is great. Not only do the wrestlers have their own music, which I mentioned previously, but the crowd noise is the best of any N64 wrestling game. They pop at the right time, and the volume changes during the match, and you get occasional crowd shout-outs, but nothing as annoying as those found in Attitude. Mean Gene also adds intro audio for the wrestlers, and his commentary during the matches is the deepest on a wrestling game on the console, and it actually adds to the matches rather than detracting from the action. There are around 15 arenas to choose from and over 10 backstage areas to continue the brawls into, which is a nice number. However, letting the game down is the career mode, which is basically a series of single matches until you win the title, and then you defend it for an unlimited amount of times. The creator wrestler is also very uninspired and lets the overall package down a whole lot. There are match customization options, however. Compared to Acclaimed wrestling games, this is a very small set of options. Wrapping things up, WCW Mayhem is a really odd game. The presentation is a great start, however they never took it any further with the sequels, and it's a shame to see what really could have been with this franchise. There are just too many negatives, however, to make this a must-play title, and I still find it shocking that any N64 game has loading times of more than a second or two, something which is a big problem and annoyance in WCW Mayhem. As we know, WCW was on a long, slippery slope to its death by the time EA started to make games with the license, but how do you remember WCW? Did you catch these games after WWF bought them, or were you a WCW fan who expected great things from EA with the WCW license? Let me know in the comments below. This was Glendust's last video of the WrestleMania special series, and I really hope that you have enjoyed having him around, so why not hit that like button and maybe he will return once again. Until next time.